Good evening, guys. It is a Tuesday evening. Another episode of Junk Removal Made Simple, brought to you by the Junk Removal Authority. Gonna have to make this call, this one a fairly quick one, because I've got an AdWords call, a customer that's interested in using us for Google AdWords management, a company out of Atlanta. So I had to make this one quick. This one's important. It's 10 things to get to $1 million a year in sales within your first 5 years. Now, one of the first steps, and I don't have it listed as one of my steps, is even thinking about 1 million. That's thinking big right there. And to me now, 1 million ain't thinking big. You know, I got 10 million. I got 10 million. That's my goal right now. Is 10 million. We're at 2 million now. My goal now is 10 million. But $1 million when you're first starting out or when you're small, that's a huge milestone to hit, and that's what you need to be shooting for. A lot of these steps are simple too. There's nothing all that difficulty. It's going to take a little different mindset. Again, you got to think big. You got to think in terms of investment. Investing is not instead of an expense. You can't be thinking cheap when it comes to your investments. You got to be willing to spend money on your investments, because if you're not willing to spend money, you're not going to get to $1 million a year in sales. This is going to take some foresight, some investment in people, some investment in advertising, investment in vehicles and equipment. So, or you ain't ever gonna get to 1 million. You're never gonna have a serious business. You're just gonna have to constantly be scraping by, like you hear everybody talk about all the time on YouTube or whatever. So, the very most important thing is answer the phone. Not all these are necessarily in order, but this is the most important. I do a lot of cold calls. As part of Junk Removal Authority, I call junk removal businesses throughout the country. And I talk to them about our service offerings, about our AdWords management, our call center, the websites we have. Just any product I believe that would help their business out and become more profitable is something I'm going to speak with them about. It amazes me the number of people that do not answer their phone. And it just blows my mind. Junk removal is a convenience type service for your customers. So it's not something that they think is all that highly technical. And there's not but a couple things they really look for when they look to hire a company. And there's a bunch of competition out there. So what they do is if you don't answer your phone, they go down the line until somebody does. And they could get to a franchise, and the franchise is going to answer the phone for sure. Junk doctors, there are very, very few times every so often a call would slip by prior to our call center days. Every so often. But, we called it right back. If we missed a call, we were calling it back immediately as soon as we got on it. And the only time we ever missed one was when we got like 3 or 4 calls that came in at the exact same time. Answer your phone. Your business will increase. If you're not answering your phone now, if you're letting it go to voicemail, people don't hardly ever leave messages. Unless they're previous customers. Previous customers will leave a message. And, you still need to be answering your phone all the time. But new customers, unless they were referred by somebody, they'll go on down the line. Answer your phone, your business is going to increase tremendously. Also, at all hours. Let me put that on here. Guys, when y'all left your last job to go in the business world, you gave up any idea of, all right, when I'm on the clock, I'm working. When I'm off, I'm not. You are working 24/7 in your junk removal business. You or somebody else needs to be answering that phone all hours, 24/7, all hours, or at minimum from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., something like that. So. But try and do 24/7 if at all possible. You need to answer it professionally. So don't just pick the phone and say hello or whatever. You need to tell them the company name and what your name is. So for example, thank you for calling Junk Doctors. This is Lee. How may I help you? So clearly enunciate what you're saying. Be professional. Tell the company name. Tell your name. And if they won't book, try and tell them, say, well, hey, I tell you what, so number one, you need to always ask for the job. So after they ask for pricing, you run through the pricing spiel or whatever. You tell them, you kind of describe pricing, answer some questions they have. Then you need to say, would you like to go ahead and schedule? Always ask that. If somebody calls, they ask for a price for an item, and say it's a one item, it's a couch pickup. So yeah, it's just going to run $120 to pick that item up for you. Would you like to go ahead and schedule? Don't wait for them to say, I'll call you back, I'll check my husband, check my wife, whatever. Would you like to go ahead and schedule? That call right there will get a lot of people to go ahead and schedule rather than telling you no. Whereas if you don't ask that question, a lot of times they'll continue on, they'll call another company, they'll check with their husband, whatever they do. You know, they'll tell you one thing and do something else. Also, have a local number. It's crazy to me when I'm calling on some of these junk removal business how many local companies have 1-800 numbers. What the hell? You're giving up one of your biggest advantages. Being local is a huge advantage, and you need to make sure you take advantage of it. Advertise and sell. You can be the best at junk removal. You can have the best website. You can have the best looking trucks. You can have the best team members. And you can do a better job than anybody else, but if you don't advertise and you don't sell and nobody uses your services, then nobody's going to have the pleasure to find that out. It is your responsibility. It is your social responsibility to the entire population in your area for you to make sure your good service gets to them. You are doing everybody a disservice if you aren't advertising and making it easy to find your business, and if you aren't out calling people and telling them about your service, a service that can help them out, then you're not holding up, you're not being responsible. You're not being responsible to your community by hiding your services from the residents in your area. You've got to be out there advertising, you've got to be out there selling. Advertising. Graphics. Guys, we get $2,500 a month off of people just seeing our graphics. Costs us about $1,400 to put the graphics on these on our trucks. You can get them cheaper too. You're kind of big. You don't want to be too wordy. You want your logo, phone number, website, and that's about it. And your name and your logo needs to make it clear you do junk removal. And if you want to add, like we put like demolition and concrete removal too. Other than that, that's all you need. The rest of it, nobody's going to pay attention to. Don't try and save $1,000 on vehicle graphics and miss out on on $10,000 throughout the year and people that book because they see you. Chamber of Commerce. And that's just like networking. So go to these events, volunteer at these events to do stuff. It's big. Get your name out in the community. And a lot of times people that are involved in Chamber of Commerce, the entrepreneurs, they're very well connected. They generally know more people, and they can help spread the word about your great business, and you can help spread the word about theirs. Cold call. Realtors, banks, organizers. When you're slow. So anytime you're slow, don't be just twiddling your thumbs. Get on the phone, make some calls, try and drum up some business. This is big. AdWords. This is the largest. And what I talked about before, being cheap. Don't be cheap and skip out on AdWords. And don't think about the AdWords as an expense. If you go with a proven strategy, such as like with JRA, with us managing your campaign, a proven AdWords campaign strategy, even if you spend several $1,000s on the Google the Google AdWords as well as the management, then you're going to be getting a profit back in return. And we can show you that. If y'all want to see what the ROI, return on investment, looks like on Google AdWords, call me, 919-466-9322, 919-466-9322, or email me at lee@junkremovalauthority.com. And then YouTube videos and other sites linking back to your website will help out in your search engine optimization. You need to hire good people, hire nice people, and when you hire on personality first, then hire on strength. And you don't want to, if you have somebody strong as an ox that can work hard, but if they're not going to be good in front of your customers, you don't want them. Same day service. So about 20% of our jobs are same-day service. Now think about that. Not only is it immediate income, that very same day, that very same week, but also think about how many customers, if you don't offer same-day service, how many customers are going to miss out. So when you'll miss out on 20% of your potential. So if you're doing 50 jobs in a week, that's an additional 10 jobs that you've missed out on. And not only that, but that's 10 future customers that you've missed out on again. So later on down the line, not in addition to the 10 you missed this week, there's, they went to another company. If the other company did a good job, that's 10 other people you're never going to get again. So that could be just those 10 people from that 1 week. That could be that could be 200 jobs that you miss out over the course of 30 years, and that's just 1 week. Take that and you take that. Say it's 200 jobs. Let's divide that down. Let's say it's 75 jobs you miss out on 10 years. And then let's do a little calculation here. So let's say you miss out just that 1 week because of previous customers, because generally customers are going to use your service about every 2 years or so, 2-3 years is when they'll use your service. So let's just say, for example, 10 divided by 3 times 10. So we'll say it's 40. We'll say 40 jobs. So it says 40 jobs, and your average job cost is $300. Just that 1 week over the next 10 years, that's $12,000 difference. $12,000. Now, you got 52 weeks out of the year, you ain't offering it. Of course, at 52 weeks out of the year, at your current numbers, that's not growing. So that's saying that you're going to stay doing 50 jobs a week for eternity. You're doing 50 jobs a week, you ain't getting $1 million. So that's $624,000 you're missing out on just by not doing same day service over a period of 10 years. At $624,000 you're missing out on if you stay at 50 jobs a week. If you double your business, then you're looking at $1.5 million you miss out on right there. Make sure you're doing same day removal. That has been one of the biggest things that's allowed us to scale up to the level we're at now, to $2 million in sales, compared to one of our competitors that's been in the business in this area just as long as we have, and they're at about 200,000 in sales or less, maybe 150,000 in sales. So make sure you offer same day service. Presentation. Pro presentation. Your appearance is actually better than quality in terms of getting business. Now, you have to have good quality, but you don't have to do the best job removing items. You don't have to be the most professional and have workers that are the best movers. Not most professional, as far as actual moving. You don't have to have the most skill and the highest quality of junk removal, but you need to look like you do. You need to have clean trucks. Your uniforms need to be clean. Everybody's shirt needs to be tucked in. Your website needs to be super professional. Everything you do, from answering the phone, scheduling the job, to the team that arrives, they need to be shaking the customer's hand, introducing themselves. They need to be very courteous with the customer. Everything needs to be a pro presentation. That's what leads people to be super satisfied and refer your business to friends and family. Number 6 is follow up. Send your customers thank you cards and give them phone calls and just make sure everything about their service went well. That's huge right there. It's huge. It's also another opportunity for you to have another contact with that particular customer, which gets them thinking about your junk removal business. They say it takes 6 times you need to be in contact with the customer before they retain your name. Even if they used your service, it's very difficult to make sure that you're keeping in touch with them and staying top of mind. Number 7, ask for reviews. At the end of the job, you ask your customer to leave you a review. Say, Bob, we appreciate your business today. if you wouldn't mind, I'd love for you to leave us some feedback and a review on how we did online. Would you be willing to do that for us? And then say, okay, well, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to send you a link via email to where you can leave a review and let us know how we did. I really appreciate it. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Right there. Always ask for the review. When you get more reviews, people begin to trust you more when they're looking up your company and they're choosing a junk removal service to use. Number 8 is do great work. Goes without saying, if you want repeat business, you want referrals, you got to make sure you do good work. And when mistakes happen, and you will, you're going to damage people's property, you need to go ahead and repair it. One of the best opportunities to get a raging fan about your business is when there's a problem. Step right up and go above and beyond their expectations. Refund them the cost of the service in addition to paying for the repair expenses. This can get expensive, but it's something to definitely look to do. Get them and take that negative, the negative thing that occurred, turn it into a positive by going above and beyond on fixing problems. Number 9, don't be cheap. Now notice this does not say be wasteful. There's a difference. Cheap means that you're not willing to spend money. You're not willing to invest. That's basically what it means. You don't care about quality. You don't care about the long-term potential of this particular investment. That's what I'm calling it, is investment. This particular amount, this transaction that's actually an investment. You're looking at the number and you're like, I'm not going to pay that amount. So, for example, our AdWords management, to set that up right there, right up front, it's a $3,000 expense. But it's profitable. Even that month when you pay $3,000 to us in addition to Google, it will almost always, not a complete guarantee, but almost always, it will be profitable in month 1. It then drops down to $1,750, and then it drops down to $1,250 ongoing, or excuse me, $1,200 ongoing. People will get that $3,000 in their head, and they might just quit looking into it. So who cares if it's $3,000 at the start if it's going to bring you profits on down the line? I can promise you, the example of AdWords, how valuable our AdWords management is we spent $300,000 over 5 years learning. Wasted $300,000. We spent well over that. We spent close to $1 million on AdWords over those 5 years. $300,000 of which it's actually it was about $900,000 we spent. $300,000 was wasted that we determined, but that was like we were learning. So what we've done is we've taken that $300,000 in mistakes, and now you have access to that at a fraction of the cost. I mean, at $1,200 a month, that's what about $13,000, $14,000 a year. To get to $300,000, hell, in 10 years you'd be at $140,000. At 20 years you'd be at $280,000. It would take you like 22 years before you got to $300,000 in wasted expense. And our campaign's going to outperform yours. So that's just another example of not being cheap. Invest in trucks when you need them. Don't go long. You need to be able to do same-day service, so you need trucks. Hire people a little bit before you actually need them. Always be thinking of investing, of growing. You don't want to be wasteful, so you don't want to spend money unnecessarily. Print advertising is a good example. Don't spend money on print advertising. Don't go out and just buy tools when you see them if you don't really need them and they're just going to get lost. Don't be wasteful, but don't be cheap when it comes to investing in your business. And then know your numbers. You need to have at least a basic understanding of accounting, and also you need to know every single week how your numbers are looking for that particular month. How much are you profiting this month? Are you profitable? Are you profiting $2,000? Are you profiting $5,000? Are you profiting $20,000 or $50,000 this month? How much are you profiting this month? What are your expense percentages? Disposal fees for junk doctors needs to be somewhere around 8.5% to 9%. If they're more than 9%, we've got somebody that's underquoting a job, or we need to raise our prices. Disposal fees have gone up or something. Fuel costs are about 6%. If we're over 6%, then we might need to raise our prices, or see if there's a different way we can run our trucks, a different routing we can do our trucks, or try maybe add another truck so we can eliminate rush hour times like a 5 to 7. And that's also with labor. Our truck labor should be about 30%. If it's more than 30%, what's going on? Hey, can we try and discourage people from booking this 5 to 7 by opening up another truck, by buying another truck? And then that way we don't have guys sitting in traffic an extra hour. What can we do to keep these numbers right? Guys, you have to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, like Shark Tank, if you go on Shark Tank and you don't know your numbers, Kevin O'Leary is going to be all up in your ass. He ain't just going to be up there with a finger. He's going to be up there with a daggone fist, just shoving it up in your ass. You got to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, then you're going to run an unsuccessful business, and you're going to leave a lot of money on the table, and you damn sure ain't getting $1 million a year in sales. You're a businessman. People that are watching this show, even if you're not yet, you need to understand you're going to become a businessman. So if you're not a businessman now and you want to get to $1 million, you don't need to be thinking about $1 million a year if you're not thinking about running a business. It doesn't matter that you're removing junk. That doesn't matter. It's beside the point. You could be doing anything. But if you want to start doing $1 million a year in sales, you've got to be doing all these steps in here. You got to be thinking big. You got to be thinking about $1 million. And then you got to know your numbers and how to get there. So average job cost, that's something else you need to know. Our average job cost generally floats somewhere around $285 to $300, not counting demolition work. Our cost per job from AdWords, our Raleigh location is about $32. Our Greensboro location is about $32. Our Charlotte location is about $70 in AdWords on advertising expense per job. I can tell you all these numbers right off my head. Our workers' comp expense is generally about 3% of our gross income. I know them all. I know them by heart. And as soon as you see them out of the line, you need to correct them. I hope this has been a quick little video here. It's covered some great stuff. These aren't necessarily in the order of importance, but they're damn close. These two are the most important. The reason answering the phone is more important than advertising and selling is because you're going to spend money on advertising and selling. If you don't answer your phone, you just wasted the money. If you're going to spend money on advertising and selling, and you're not going to answer your phone, instead of spending money on advertising and selling, you can mail me a check to 10312 Chapel Hill Road, Morrisville, NC 27560, just for nothing. And because I'll take that money and I'll put it to better use. If you're not going to answer your telephone, you would have wasted an advertising money without answering your phone. You've got to answer that call. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're in the middle of a meeting. You got to answer that call. You should have had somebody else covering. It could be the GRA call center, your wife, your girlfriend. If you're having sex, you better pick up that call. I mean, you got to be talking to that customer, and you got to be booking that job up. Whatever you're doing, you got to be answering that phone. And make sure if you're going to be unable to answer the phone, you have somebody that can be answering it for you. Our phone number, 919-466-9322. 919-466-9322. Lee at junkremovalauthority.com. Lee at junkremovalauthority.com. Visit our website at junkremovalauthority.com. We got a new site coming up. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment below. If you liked this video, let me know. If you didn't like this video, damn sure let me know. And if you got any other questions, comments, concerns, post them right here in this video. I'll respond. And we're going to help everybody blow the hell out of their business in 2018.